What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is Mexican Dynasty Season 1, Episode 8. So, look, we found out a few things in this episode, honey. Like, Alon was married at one point. Was it Adon? Yeah, I know I keep getting them mixed up. I think it's Adon. Adon was married at one point in time, honey. We didn't know that. He had actually moved out the house and gotten married, but it didn't last because Marie told him he'd never be a superstar if he was married. Next thing you know, he was divorced. Um, so this episode is about, we start this episode off with Oscar and excuse me, Oscar and Paulina are celebrating the 2-year anniversary of their show, and it's going to be a black and white extravaganza, which they told everybody. Every time they talked to somebody, they had to give them the whole black and white extravaganza, right? And so they invited everybody to come through. And so that's what the main little event is for this particular episode. So then we see Doris and Raquel talking, and Raquel wants to get a dog. She's looking for a companion, and Doris is talking to her about Sam and telling her mom, I don't know if you're ready to date. Are you really serious? And I think Raquel likes Sam, but I think that Raquel wants to take things slow. Sam is a little pushy, I think. I think Sam is making it very clear that he's interested in Raquel, and I think he's moving maybe a little fast for her. But honey, Doris Googled him, which I ain't mad at her for. In this day and age, if you have the technology available, go ahead and Google and make sure this man is not trying to move in. She said, I need to find out where he come from and how my mama know him and did they really go to school together and all these other things. But Raquel was saying that she's saying that he's like a best friend to her. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. Like a best friend to her, and that she likes him. She said he's kind of not really her type as far as his body makeup, but she said, but I can live with it. It's okay. He might be a little pudgy, little more overweight than I like, but okay. But Doris got her good out. She said, I don't know about this. I don't know how I feel about him trying to move in on my mom so soon after my dad's passing. And again, we talked about that last week. I definitely understand that concern. Okay. Over here with the Alon and Adon and Marty and Fernando. Okay. Marty is really having a big problem with Doris's whole situation. She was not impressed with what she saw with Doris and that emerging artist situation. And we see Doris talking to Raquel about it, and we see Marty and Fernando talking about it. And to his credit, Fernando is really trying to stay out of it and trying to be objective about it, I think. Marty is not at all. Now, on the Raquel Doris side of it, Doris's thing is, because Raquel was like, I think he's a good performer, but I don't know if his singing skills are up to par. And Doris's thing is, yeah, his singing skills are not up to par, and every time I've tried to talk to him about it, he has these excuses, and he has these he's been in this bubble. He's been living in this bubble for so long that his parents have created for him. He can't hear it. He said, well, you know what? No singer is always on key. Okay, but that shouldn't be your goal. Like, you shouldn't be okay with the fact that you were off key. And Raquel, at the end of the conversation, Raquel told Doris, leave him alone. Don't mess with him. Don't mess with him. Just leave that whole situation alone. Let it be. But of course, Doris ain't trying to do it. Now on the other side, Adon is like, look, we had the conversation. We agreed on how this was going to go. He was like, look, everybody's going to have to compromise and everybody's going to have to figure out their position because I'm the artist. I'm in charge. And at the end of the day, y'all are going to have to just kind of do what I want y'all to do. And y'all going to have to figure out a way to work together to get it done. And Marty was just like, you could tell she wasn't feeling it. She wasn't trying to hear it. She wasn't really feeling that whole situation. And like I said, Fernando, to his credit, was kind of like, look, let Adon. Adon told you what he wants. You have to respect what he wants. But, and Marty was like, well, what happens if she comes up to me and tries to talk to me at the party? And they said, tell her that this isn't the time or the place for it. This isn't the time to talk about it. We're at a party. Well, because Adon finally said, look, we're going to have a meeting where we all sit together and we're going to talk about it. Like, that's what we're going to do. So then we see Adon talking to his brother. He was talking about how the model was flirting with him. And his brother was like, oh my gosh, he is living in his own little world because that model was not flirting with him. That model wasn't thinking about him. But that's when we find out that Adon was actually married at one point, and Marie sort of interjected in that, and that she just doesn't feel like anybody is good enough for her son. But are we shocked by that? No, because that's how she feels. She feels that way. Nobody is good enough for her son. So we were, we were shocked by it, but not that shocked by it, I guess. Um, we see Raquel go out on a date with Sam. Nothing big. I like that restaurant they went to, though. They were doing something. They were making sauce or something, and it had whiskey and all that. It was good. It was cute. But looked like a nice little restaurant. But again, I think, like I said, I think Sam is coming on a little strong. Sam, you let her know how you felt. You let her know what you were feeling. I think you came on a little strong, though. So we see where Jen has a friend in from out of town. Used to date a friend of theirs, but now she's single, and they're gonna hook her up with Adon. And she's pretty and all that. She's an actress. I think she sings as well. And they know each other. They've known each other for a while, so they're gonna hook her up. They're gonna try to hook Adon up, but not really tell him that they were hooking him up. Um, So we see everybody getting ready for the party. This episode didn't really have a lot, so it's not going to be a long review. Everybody's getting ready for the party. I really like Paulina and Oscar's outfits for the party. They were really nice. Oscar had this black and white blazer that had like a jaguar on the back, and it was bedazzled and everything, and it looked really nice. And then Paulina had this beautiful dress on, cocktail party dress, black and white. They had a nice venue. Everything looked really nice. It was nice. It really was. It looked like it was a really nice party, and they were dressed really nicely. Looked like everybody followed the dress code, except for Alon. Alon just had on a white shirt and some black jeans. There wasn't nothing extravagant about that. But, okay. So a couple of things went down at the party. And this, like I said, this ain't going to take long. Hold on. So we're at the party. So a couple of things go down at the party. So first of all, Adon meets the friend that they're trying to hook him up with, and he is instantly infatuated. Like, he is loving it. And Marty got her eye on him the whole night. Who is this girl? Who is this girl? He knows that he can't afford to get caught up in a relationship right now. His girlfriend is his guitar. If he wants to be a superstar, that's who his girlfriend should be. And I was like, yep. She the reason why his ass got divorced. Yep. You can hear it in her voice. You can hear it all in her voice. I was like, she the reason. Then we see Oscar's really feeling his little friend from Brazil. He's already gone, Tariq, I think. He's already gone back home, but they called him on FaceTime, and Oscar was all blushing and everything, so that was cute. We see Doris and Marty have their little showdown, which it really wasn't that deep. I think both of them were wrong from the point of view of, one, I feel like when Doris told Marty this isn't the time to have this, when Marty told Doris this isn't the time to have that conversation, Doris, she should have respected that. Now, her mom were coming from a Yom Kippur dinner, and she was saying, Yom Kippur is all about, getting out your sins and cleansing and everything. So in her mind, I need to get this off my chest, and I need to talk to you about this. Marty's thing was, we're here at a party for Oscar and Paulina, and this is not the time for this conversation. And she was right. Doris, you were wrong for your timing, but you weren't necessarily wrong for what you said. And you basically were telling Marty, stay out of it. We had this conversation. You thought that's, you agreed to do it. But I need you to stay. I need you to stand back so that I can take over and I can do the things we need to do for Adon. And she told her, I need Adon out of your bubble, because Adon needs to be able to hear somebody other than the two of you, because I'm trying to be honest with him and he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear what's being said about his music not being the best or his singing not being the best. And Marty doesn't use that same excuse talking about some Mick Jagger's off key sometime, so-and-so's off key. And Doris was like, yeah, after 50 years of being in the business, like, if you're trying to be a superstar, you can't start off giving bad performances or being off key. And she said, well, maybe if he had a rehearsal. And Doris said he did have a rehearsal. That was him after rehearsal. Well, the sound man was this and the stage was that. Like, all these excuses as to why. Let me tell you something. Somebody who's ready to perform, somebody who has a talent to perform, can perform on a street corner and bring people to tears, okay? Where he was performing, the sound man, I'm not saying that those won't be elements, but that's not the reason why Adon wasn't what he should have been. And again, nobody is saying his performance was horrible. All that Doris is saying is that there's room for improvement, and there absolutely is room for improvement. So that's sort of kind of how that went down. And then Doris got mad. She ended the conversation, and then she made all of them go home. And poor Don, he was still trying to talk to the little girl, and he was like, "We gotta leave now." I mean, and my thing is, they got Ubers in Mexico. You should have told your mama, "I'll be there in a little bit. Let me go on an Uber home." But you know he ain't gonna say that. Fernando wasn't ready to leave. Don wasn't ready to leave. But Doris said, "Let's go." And next thing you knew, they was gone. The only other thing that happened, and I don't really want to dig into too deep into it because I don't really like storylines like this. They did this on Love and Hip Hop Miami where they were trying to throw out there that Doris is a witch or that she practices witchcraft. I'm not getting into that because I don't like that type of stuff. I don't like talking about those types of things because I'm just not going to get into it. But anyway, they talked about that a little bit. And again, I think it was partially joking, partially real. Like they really felt like that. So there's that. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. We will talk to you later. Peace.